Hello, 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 hello. Happy New Year. I hope all of you had a wonderful, excellent, fantastic Christmas. This is me now back doing second channel videos. I'm also doing main channel videos as well, but there might be a little bit of a delay in the future with the main channel videos and even the second channel. There's some stuff going on right now. It'll all be clear in a couple of months. Don't worry, I'm fine. Channel's fine. Just the pregnancy is the date's coming up, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be very busy. I'm sure you understand. But I've got a bunch of videos to film today. For example, this one I wanted to cover because this actually happened just as I went on my break for Christmas. Route erupts after claim women arrested for silently praying. Here's what really happened. Now, this boiled my piss a little bit because a woman was arrested for praying silently in the street, but it was also because she was in an area that she wasn't supposed to be in. She was already told multiple times to leave. However, even though that is the case, it's still a bullshit arrest. But I'll go through this article explaining it. Twitter was forced to correct a false claim made by a right-wing US commentator that an anti-abortionist was arrested for silent praying in Birmingham. And there's the actual full video there. She was standing there. She's out on the pavement. She's in public. She was praying in her head. The officers were asking her, "Are you praying?" She said, "I might be." And the officers said some stuff like, "Do you realise how that might cause distress to the women in the clinic?" Stuff like that. Praying causing distress. A pro-life woman who stood outside an abortion clinic in Kings Norton, Birmingham, in violation of a public space protection order, has found herself in the middle of a furious row after her case was picked up by a conservative outlet in the US. Misinformation about why Isabel Von Spruce, 45, was arrested spread around social media after Mary Margaret Olahan, a senior reporter for the US publication The Daily Signal, shared the video of the arrest and falsely claimed it was for silent praying. Twitter was forced to attach a corrective statement to Miss Olahan's post after it went viral. In the video, Miss Von Spruce being arrested, the police officer asked her why she was standing there, given that they know she does not live nearby. Miss Von Spruce responded that she was standing in front of an abortion centre, but she was not protesting. She said that she was praying in her head. Okay, so this is the thing is, the police declared a space that you're not allowed to protest in. You're not allowed to protest in that space. She was silent and just praying in her head. Now, the point of these spaces, in fact, I'll save it for the end. She later refused to voluntarily go to the police station upon the request of the officer, forcing her to be arrested in accordance with the law. Now, if now this is part that's a bit weird. Would you like to go to the police station voluntarily? No. Okay, then we're going to arrest you and force you to go to the police station. That means the original request wasn't voluntary. You know that. You're aware of that, right? If it's a case of we're going to ask you nicely, but if you refuse, we're going to force you to do the thing anyway. That means the first question wasn't voluntary. It wasn't voluntary. She was going to the police station whether she liked it or not. That voluntary thing was just, well, we asked her to go voluntarily. That's bullshit. That's just the face. That's just the front to make it look like she had an option. She clearly fucking didn't. This information was taken at face value, and the misinformed notion that she was detained simply for silently praying was spread on social media. The claims were picked up by British right-wing commentator Calvin Robinson. I actually just recently bumped into him, who said no one should ever be arrested for silent prayer. Not in the UK, not anywhere, regardless of your position on abortion. This is wrong. I await our very vocal religious leaders to speak out in support of Isabel and freedom of religion. Leader of Reform UK, Richard Tice, also shared the video declaring that the police need to explain themselves urgently. A woman arrested in the UK for silently praying in her head on the street. But Twitter swiftly issued a correction in light of the hysteria bred by these false claims, as well as posting a link to further information. There's Calvin's tweet. In a corrective statement attached to the post, they wrote, "The woman in the video, Isabel Von Spruce, was not arrested for silently praying. She was arrested for breaking a temporary public space protection order on 4 separate occasions, which were used to ban protests outside of an abortion clinic due to safety concerns." And there's the crux of the argument right there. You're not allowed to protest in this area because it may cause a threat or disturbance to the people inside or the people that are visiting the clinic. She had her eyes closed, her head was looking down, and she was silently praying. That was it. That was it. There was no risk at all of anyone having their safety breached in any way whatsoever. This was explained to the police, and the police knew this. The police knew she wasn't actually a threat or a danger, so they then used the excuse of the fact that she was praying could cause distress to the people that were visiting the clinic. So yeah, she kind of was arrested for praying, because the police then have to find an excuse. This place is under the protection of a public space protection order. You're only allowed to be here if you have a justifiable reason that the police get to decide. And the police can then choose any reason whatsoever to remove you from that space. See, if you're just standing there not doing anything, the police will try and make something up. But they asked her, are you praying in your head? And she said, I might be. And as soon as she said, I might be, that's when the police went, nice, we've got something. Well, you praying could cause distress to the people. There they are. They had the thing. They made it up. So it wasn't specifically why she was arrested, but it was what initiated the arrest, because she was doing something that the police then declared could not be done in that place that was protected by the Public Space Protection Order. If she said, oh, I'm here to cheer them on and say lovely things, or I'm just standing here, yeah, they would have let her stay. They would have let her stay and let her stand there. But she said, I'm praying. And that was all she said. She just said, I'm praying. And then the police went, well, you can't do that here. That was used as the excuse for removing her. And when she says, no, I'm not going to, she was perfectly within her right to do. Right, see that public space? Her taxes fucking pay for it. All of her taxes pay for it. The idea of freedom of speech and rights is, oh, you can't do it in private property. You can't do it here, like in someone's house or in a place of business or on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Well, the point then is you're able to do it in a public space. That was a public space. The police just arbitrarily deciding this is not a public space anymore. That's a rights violation. They've taken away property that you have the right to express your rights in. They've removed property from you. They have restricted your freedom of movement in order to exercise your rights on public property, which is meant to be the point. It's meant to be the point of rights. I mean, we don't have them in Silicon Valley or online, but you're supposed to have them in the street. I'm just kidding. This is Britain. So yeah. And that was the problem. So Miss Bruce was charged with breaching an exclusion zone and 4 counts of failing to comply with a Public Space Protection Order, PSPO, according to West Midlands Police, which she didn't have to abide by. It's a public space. She was fully allowed to be there and exercise her rights. She was arrested on December the 6th and charged on December the 15th. Now, as someone who has been arrested a number of times, might I tell you, you are charged on the spot or the next day. You're charged on the spot or the next day, right? 6, so that's fucking 9 days. 9 days of a difference, right? Maths isn't my strong point. 9 days of a difference. They knew that they had fucked up and they had to get approval. Basically, they had to go to the Procurator Fiscal and go, do we go ahead with this? And they thought about it. They thought about it. Charges are levied like right away. Right away. Especially, for example, it's not even a case. See, if it's a case of he said, she said, then there might be a bit of a pause while the police do their investigation. But see, if the police have witnessed it, like if there's a fight in the street and the police walk up to 2 guys punching the shit out of each other, like, there's no need for investigation. The charges are brought right away. They saw her in the street. They were the ones that arrested her. They witnessed it themselves. They witnessed this apparent breach. The charges would have been filed immediately, right? But they waited 9 days instead because they know what a difficult situation this is. They know, oh shit, we kind of just arrested a woman and removed her from a protected space because she was praying, and it's because she was praying that's why she was removed. No, it's not. She was trespassing. The reason that what she did qualified as a trespass was because she was praying. If she was saying words of support and saying lovely things and all that, she would have been allowed to stay. But because she was praying, that's what breached the protection order. So, yes, she was arrested because she was praying. Right? That was the action that led to the cuffs. So, yeah. People are trying to go, I don't give a fuck. No, it was for praying. It was for praying. I have a little bit of experience with the law, as you might be aware. If she wasn't praying, she wouldn't have been arrested. But she was, and hey-ho, 2023. Isn't this country fantastic? I hope the fucking Russians roll in.